Okay, perfect.
Are you okay?
So,
baby, the blab is starting just now. The guys are getting online.
So Jean Paul, I see that you're here. Why don't you try clicking on that open seat, that round circle? It says join. Click on that, and
it was within earshot. He said it loud enough for me to hear, obviously. But he was like, yeah, he's one of them new age husband on them. so because I care what my wife thinks, I care, but I'm hands on. My dad was, he worked, he did his thing, and then he played his records. But I mean, like I said, we never kicked ball. We never, went to the park, any kind of that stuff. So, but yeah, like Roger, I do everything. Wash dishes, I cook. I like to cook, actually. I've learned that I actually have a talent for it. Pretty much I do laundry, do all the stuff. Like I said, I take the kids to school, I pick them up, all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't trade any of that for the world, man. I wouldn't trade any of that kind of action for the world. Like, I love knowing that I see my kids when I'm home, obviously, every morning. No matter how late I come in from a gig, I could come home from a gig at 4 a.m. and I got to be up at 6 to make sure that they're up to eat breakfast. I got to comb her hair. I mean, sure, it's always a ponytail. Or
my time is coming, JP. My time is coming.
But at the same time, I'm the one who gets them ready, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how much money you offer me. If you said, hey, you have the opportunity to make $400,000 a year, but you can't see your kids in the morning because you got to go to work and sit in traffic, I'd say keep your money, man, because my kids will be rich and they'll take care of me when I get old. Hopefully.
That's the plan.
Hopefully.
Pension. That's the real pension right there.
I feel the same way about it, man. It's really been, little Keon, this little one is the focus of my life. And any time away from him is measured. And I'm like, I got to get back. I got to get back to baby. Got to get back home.
It doesn't change.
And here's a question. This sort of new age parenting, as they call it, or just actually parenting as a father, where did that come from? Because most of us didn't have that as dads. Our dads weren't there making sure things. Is this simply just we are going to do the opposite of what our dad did? And our kids are going to be like, look, my daddy was around way too much. I'm out.
I don't even know what it was for me. For me, it wasn't any type of, and I don't want to make it sound like this, but it wasn't any type of backlash. It wasn't any type of, my dad never did this. Right. I just knew from the moment, from even before my Xavier was born, I loved, talking into the belly and rubbing the belly and watching the kicks and all that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to meet him. And then you're experiencing it now because you have a fresh baby, I'm sure you've already done the thing where he's in the crib and he's sleeping and you're just like a stalker, just.
Is he breathing?
Yeah.
He's breathing. Baby.
Just stare at them. They smell good. They sound good. They do, They poop good. It's just everything about, having a kid and knowing that it's yours. It's you. You know what I mean? And you would do anything for them. So.
And you felt that right from the beginning. Like when you first saw your kid, you were like, that's
I felt that before. Like the difference is, and again, I can't and I won't speak for anybody else, is we had decided that we were going to have a baby. So it wasn't like, okay, let's do this. It was, let's try to start a family. And I fell in love, immediately, from conception, and it hasn't stopped. And then, same thing with baby girl, so, and then to have two, like Roger, I'm sure you feel the same way. You have a boy and you have a girl. And the coolest thing about that, and I'm not taking anything away from two boys or two girls. Right. I just know that they both have their roles. Yep. My boy is my boy and he's the oldest, and my baby girl is my girl and she's my baby. So there's no fighting to be like, I need to be the better son, or I need to be the better daughter, or I need to be they both have their roles, and that's what I think about them. Yes.
JP.
Right.
What's that?
The millionaire family. That's what they call
Well,
it.
I'm waiting for my check. I am waiting. I have to call Canada Post because they are delinquent.
Check is not in the mail. That's what it's
Like,
called.
what?
The check is not in the mail. So Nathaniel, you jump back in, man. What's up?
Yeah.
What do you have to say? And I know
I was parched. I needed something to drink.
That's rye.
Alan, Caribbean TV, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Alan, what's going on?
Hey, right there.
Another great father as well. Another great father, Alan is. I've witnessed him, be right there for his son, and he's going to be a new father in August, I believe. August.
Oh, yes. A new dad.
Got away, mad bills to pay. That's right.
June 9th. New
Come
dad.
downstairs, children. Nobody believes you exist.
JP says he has kids, but only on Instagram. He has rent kids. He has rental kids.
All right, thank you. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Yeah,
Where are the kids? Oh,
Hello.
gosh.
How goes it?
Nice T-shirt with the headphones.
Yeah, man.
What's up, DJ?
He can't hear you.
Joseph Clément.
Oh gosh, kids are too cute.
We gotta get in the.
Parlez-vous, be quiet.
Monsieur?
What? Yes. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
sweet.
Okay. You guys call grandma?
So what do you guys think about the future? Like when you think of what's next
Go call grandma.
for you, like what's coming up next?
As far as what, fatherhood, or just in general?
As fatherhood, like what are your next plans? Do you have plans, or are you dealing with fatherhood from day to day?
Right now, it's just trying to manage and make sure that they have interests. Like we have them in soccer, gymnastics, taekwondo, swimming when we can. So I don't need them to love everything. I just need them to experience. And for me, it's funny because my wife is, I think she's type A. I think that's what they call it. She's the type
That's what she
A.
told me she was. She was I'm type A.
School, books, this, that, which again is great because I think we balance each other out because I come from the artsy side and she comes from, she got her MBA and all this kind of stuff. So, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I just try to instill in them, hey, whatever it is you're going to do, just be passionate about it. I don't need you to be a lawyer. I don't need you to be nice. I don't need you to be a Supreme Court judge.
Can help daddy out. Give daddy a little money, buy daddy a car. These are good things.
Love what you do. Love what you do. And I tell them all the time, when you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Just be passionate about it and love what you do. And I just want you to be happy. Life is too short to go along, not being happy. So nobody in school goes, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to work in a cubicle. Nobody ever says that. Nobody ever says that.
It's true.
No one ever.
Well,
I just want to grow. I want to grow and learn with them too, because we also realize that they, as you would say, they're seeing the world through their lens and their developing lens. So for me to act like I still know everything 10 years from now when they're immersed in everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? They do stuff on the iPad that I'm like, I didn't even think the iPad could do this.
Right.
And I'm like, you're 7. So
yeah, they're like native with this. They're just, I saw this baby that was like 1 and was like swiping on the phone. I'm like, it's native to them. That's a whole different conversation. We have another question coming in here from Riri. What can we as wives / partners do to support the daddies?
Well, this is a completely different. This is a completely different conversation.
Right.
The after dark conversation.
Right.
After that, we're gonna have to take this one offline.
That's too funny.
All right, Roger. How do you want to be supported from your wife? Like, what would make a difference? What does she do, or what could she do that makes a difference for you to make you go, that you love?
I don't want people to hate me, right? But I don't really have a lot of complaints. I don't. So I don't think that she can do more I don't see what more she could do at this point.
Right.
Not necessarily more, but what does she do that you feel when you see that you go, my baby loves me?
You know what? She allows me the time to work, so she will take the responsibility of, you know, like getting chased out in the mornings. I mean, I would do it normally, but you know, right now it's kind of I wouldn't say it's stressful, but it's very busy. So like last night I went to bed at 2:00, right? So I'm not going to necessarily wake back up at 7 to try and get the kid, you know, out and all that. So she just sees that and she jumps in and she does it. There's no questions asked. And I think it works both ways.
Right.
You know, when you have that system where you just allow the person to do, because ultimately what I'm doing is for the family. It's not for me. Right? Everything I'm doing, every job, everything I do right now is for my family. There's nothing. I don't have any solo time, solo projects necessarily that I'm doing. So you smile. It's true. You
So
know?
does this make us? So is this something we just understand intrinsically, or is this, or where do you think we get that from? Where do we think? Is it that we have the perfect woman? Is it that we have the perfect
I think
wife?
we're just awesome guys. Right? We're just incredible. Or women are lucky to have us. I don't want to say it. I don't want to.
Well, you know, I'm in a unique position because I sought her out for her to represent me as a photographer, as an artist. So she was there to support me from the onset, and it just obviously morphed into something greater. And since becoming a father, she has even supported me even greater by pushing me into certain things that I've always had interest in, such as, you know, design and things like that. So she's really pushed me to do better, to be better. And
I think that's the key as well.
Yeah,
I think that's the key. That when they make you a better person and makes you want to be a better person, you know. So I think that completely balances out, and that's. I think that's what makes it easy. I really can't complain. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to.
I'm not saying you're looking for complaints. And I see your question, Alan. We're going to jump to that in a second. But really, when you're, why you laugh? Oh, okay.
I'm reading
tonight, boy.
I'm not seeing the questions anymore. Is there?
Be on the right hand side in the comments too. It's just like, ooh, somebody's
She's already setting up the cameras in the bedroom.
It's like, okay, babe, you need to go to sleep. This is good.
We're going to go with the SLR lens tonight.
And the dad show is taking a detour.
right.
But really, I'm saying this, Jean Paul, what does your wife do that you just love?
This is going to sound like I am pandering.
No.
The fact that she laughs at this stupid stuff still. The silly, stupid stuff that is just the moments that we share. When she laughs, it melts my heart because it still lets me know that she is into Jean, me, not Jean Paul, the performer, not the comedian, that she's into the dude that she, you know, stood in front of people and we looked into each other's eyes and we promised to, you know, the whole thing. So,
you're right.
Yeah. So when we have those moments, those are the ones. I actually sent her a text. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to read it actually because it's just us here.
Show us.
I sent her.
It's private.
It's show you. I sent her a text.
Someone's trying to get something.
I love you for loving my brain sometimes. You know, because she never makes me think that I'm stupid. Like, I mean, she's way more educated than me formally, but she never talks down to me. She never belittles me. She never makes me feel like, you know, that, you know, she's never dismissive, and that's what I appreciate. That's how I know.
So this sense of respect and honoring exactly who you are, and who you are not just kind of like you. I just like you. I think you are funny.
Yes.
No crowds, no people, just
no spotlights, no microphone, no nothing.
Sitting in the basement watching Netflix. Baby, you funny.
We can't afford Netflix. We have extra.
You got video cassettes. You got video cassettes.
You'll watch Oliver Samuel VCR tapes.
You got YouTube Live. You're gonna just stream YouTube. Welcome, Camille. I just saw Camille first time on Blab. Welcome,
Camille.
What's up? Camille is Roger's partner.
Yes.
She's gonna drop some questions in on the side or say hello, and we'll definitely get to it. So here's a question from Alan. Anybody can answer this. What is the hardest thing about being a dad?
So, repeat the question.
What's the hardest thing about being a dad?
Oh my God.
For me, I would say, and I struggle with it sometimes, is it not being about me and my perspective all the time. Like I don't know if it's because kids are so advanced these days. I have to remember that he's just 7. I have to remember that she's just 5, because the things that come out of their mouth that are they're so self-aware that I have to remind myself you're not talking to an adult, and that you want to get mad. So but you kind of have to pull back. Like even was it yesterday or today? I think it was yesterday. We were doing math homework the night before, and he wasn't getting something. And he just wasn't listening to how I was explaining it. I was explaining it verbatim, and he just wasn't getting it. And eventually he got it. But before that, I'd kind of raised my voice and how do you do? And then the next day, as we were coming home from school and we were walking down the hallway at school, like I apologized. I was like, hey man, remember yesterday when thing? I was like, I just want to say sorry. I just thing. So I always, if I know I think I've overstepped my bounds, I don't want to be that proud. I'm not supposed to apologize to my child. I don't want to be that guy. I want him to know that I have some form of empathy, and I want to know that I can be wrong as well. And when I am, I'm going to apologize, and that's what people do. So.
That's big of you, man.
Do
any of you ever apologize to your kids if you do something?
Yes, I do. Like oftentimes I
not a lot, but I do.
I find that
the hesitation there's worried.
I'll be like my father, the quick response, don't do this, do that, and Marina always says this to me, take the bass out of my voice when I'm speaking to him, because then it's like the fear of God is in it, right? But when some of the things that I do, like I'll raise my voice or you hear the bass, and then what he does is he comes back at me with the same kind of tonality and whatnot, and hand gestures, which is really quite something. It's like it's really quite something to see. A little 3-year-old. Right. So I have to remind myself that he is only 3, and I can't talk to him like he's a guy on the street corner.
I'm telling you, it's so hard to remind yourself that they're children,
right? Because he's us, like 2.0. He's like more advanced and whatnot, so he picks up on things. So he's using his Jedi mastery against us a lot of the time, and it's really quite something to see.
They're good. They're really good. They're really good.
I was playing with my friends. We were over at my friend's place, and I was sitting on the ground playing in the kitchen with his daughter, and we were just like, "Hey, what's up? Show me this." And we had stickers, and we were playing Dolly House or whatever. And I'm like, "Oh, it's a sticker, and I want a sticker of Dory from Finding Nemo." And she gave me a sticker, and I said, "Hey, that's not Dory." She goes, "Listen, you get what you get, and you don't get upset." And I went, "You're right."
Wow.
I've been told. Absolutely right. You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
There's more of that to come, my friend.
I'm out the line. I know it, and I'm just willing to admit that. I was just like, that's my bad. That's my bad.
Well, the other thing that I noticed with this being a better person, I know somebody was saying it earlier, JP, right? Mm-hmm. That you start to change everything. Your language. Suddenly the bad words get less and less.
I don't know about that.
For the non-comedians. Okay, for the non-comedians. All right.
Thank you.
You try to do things, even just general mannerisms, and as Nathaniel was saying, you kind of watch your tone, how you shouting or how you're responding. I mean, I know it's hard sometimes because they're doing something and your first instinct is to stop that. But then something you have to step back from it and say, okay, why is he doing this? maybe I should try and find that out first before I start going on a rampage.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. I find my demeanor to be more calm in my approach.
Yes,
that's usually my first line, and then obviously sometimes it doesn't work. But
escalate.
But for the most part, I don't see them. I give them the respect that I think that kids deserve. So and they're good kids. They're good. They're great kids.
Yeah.
So
it's.
I mean, it's those lessons too, right, Ricardo? I mean, if you're telling somebody to turn off the light, then you have to turn off the light too. And he's going to point that out to me. Daddy, you left the light on. You left this up. Anything. He's going to tell you exactly. So you need to become that person that you're trying to get him to be.
So is it better to be the person you want them to be, or tell them who you want them to be?
Live by example, not by words.
I think we forget that we, on both sides, kids and parents have a job. Like, it's our job to be who we are, and it's their job to be kids. We can't expect them to act like adults or how parents would act, and they need to push buttons. So they need to know, all right, cool, where are the parameters? Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, mom's not joking or dad's not joking. Let me...
When you see this is serious.
Yeah, let me pull back. And the funny thing is, on my side, it's weird. I won't say we're good cop, bad cop. It's just Canadian cop and Trini cop. Because...
Immigration, you could be an essay.
I talk like this.
I talk like this, and a Trini cop.
And she talks with you. What all that children doing? Come on. So they get both sides of the immigration coin.
The culture experience, the full cultural experience. Authority.
What's my biggest fear about parenting a daughter?
That's a good one. Let's break it down. 2 men here have daughters. Talk to me. Is that different from sons?
Absolutely.
I think it is. I don't know how to, and especially on a day like today with the whole Gian Gomeshi thing. I want my daughter to believe so much in herself and to understand that you don't need to be validated by anybody but yourself. And I also have the luxury of her mother and the village of women that surround her and us. Her mother is like I said, she has her MBA. She speaks French. She speaks Spanish. She speaks Trini. Our closest friends are female partners in law firms, specialist children doctor, pulmonary specialists, blah blah blah. So she is surrounded by successful women, intelligent women, self-aware women, and I want to lend that to her. I want her to know you have the ability to be anything. You want to be a fashion designer, you be a fashion designer. You don't let anybody tell you shit. You do whatever it is you need to do and believe in yourself, and you will always have that support. I don't want her to feel, and I try to instill that in her brother as well, so that, hey, make sure you're there to support, so she knows what men who love her look like. And that's what I need my daughter to know. Know what men who love you look like.
Right. Roger.
It's scary, man. I'm going to be real. It's a scary proposition to raise a daughter. And, one of the things that I worry about, I want to be very transparent here. I don't want this karma to come back on my daughter, right? Because I was bad. I was bad, I mean,
thanks for being transparent.
I'm just.
Who's laughing?
That's my wife. She's dying right now. She's dying.
Back as I was a very bad man, I'm going to tell you.
Please don't take it out on my daughter. I'm just praying that it doesn't transfer down there.
But the other weird thing about you saying that, and I've always felt that I won't say it's always bothered me, but I've always felt weird when guys say, "Hey, I used to be a gallus or whatever," and that's why you have girls. I don't want the stigma or the perception that because a guy does bad, he gets a daughter. I don't want it to come across as some kind of
punishment.
punishment or I don't want to say curse. That's not what I'm trying to convey.
I get you.
But yeah. I don't think that should be. You know what I mean? And I think because you know better, Roger, now what you've gone through and all that, you are now in a better position to speak frankly and openly. Since you like to be transparent, I think your daughter is definitely going to be in the best position to have someone, dad, you know, a guy this or a guy that. And now you can see. Yeah. I know the signs. This is da 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 da.
He told me to watch out for that.
Does he look like he's balding? Does he look like his hairline is receding early?
Are you going to have, when it comes to talking sex with your kids, when do you think, I know our kids are all under 10, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Age-wise, yes.
Age-wise. They're actually going on 35.
Intellectually.
But when it comes to talking about sex and love and relationships, what are those things? Have you thought about what you want to put in? I mean, my boy's 3 months, and it's just like, I think about that. I'm like, I think about all the things I want to put forward that he can grab and move and take and move on. He may throw most of it out. I don't know, but I am very cognizant of everything I try to put in front of him and build for him so that he can take this or not take this. When it comes to relationships and those things, are you guys thinking about that?
Here's the first step. It's not even about love, relationships, and sex. It's about who's actually your friend in school. So these are the first conversations that I'm having with Chase. How do you identify if a child is a friend? Right? They're the things that friends do. If somebody likes you, they're going to do these things. And if they don't like you, they're going to do these things. Sounds very simplistic, but yeah. Kids have no
appropriate before.
They're not conniving yet at 4. Right? So they're just being themselves.
Surprised.
That's true.
It's weird. It's really weird. See, I haven't thought about it, but I think what I take some solace in is my wife and I are very loving, and we're very public with our love. I don't mean, you know, I mean, we kiss, we hug, they see us, they don't see us fight. Like if we think we're going to have an argument or a fight or whatever, we'll either wait till they go to sleep or we'll go to the car or they're not around. But we like them to know that their mother and father have a healthy relationship, and that and through healthy relationships, eventually when we get to that point, that's I won't say we'll tackle that because I don't want to make it seem like let's just wait, and then they're like, what?
Right.
So, but I at least like them to have an idea of what a healthy, loving, stable relationship looks like. So at least they have some form of prototype. Like we are not shy about how we feel each other, and I know that they know mommy and daddy. Like, oh, look at the kissing.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, what do you want to say?
Well, I hope that the information that I give my son is going to be greater than what my dad gave me. Much like with the credit card, be careful with that thing. He said, "Don't bring home anyone pregnant." It was like, is that really? Because that was it. Yeah, don't bring.
Those are the 2 talks.
That was it.
It was the same time. The credit card leads to this.
That's right. And it happened around the same time. So it was like, and unbeknownst to him, I was exposed to sex a lot earlier than the credit card thing. So it was
he was behind the 8 ball.
He was so behind. It was so behind.
So let me ask you guys this: as fathers now, and as people who have obviously had sex, at what age?
That's proof.
Ideally, at what age would you guys like to have been given the talk from, say, your dad or your parents? Wow. If you can go back.
Well,
age 12 for me.
12?
12 would have been good.
10 would have been good.
Where did you live, Roger?
10 would have been good.
Roger, a little more advanced than most of us.
Right. Advanced.
Remember, I was the last child, man. I was the last child with older cousins, older siblings.
Okay.
Everybody was older for me.
Everybody was teaching you all along.
Right?
I would say
hold on. My father gave me, on my 18th birthday, told me two things. First one is, you can move out now if you want to. Right? I just moved in at 16, and he's like, at 18, hey, you can move out now if you want to, because I left my house when I was 19. And then the second thing he said was, women have been my greatest downfall in life. Don't let it happen to you. So that was his advice. That was his overall overarching thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
So
my parents divorced when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I think, and he wasn't really in my life at all until I was about 17, 18 again for a little while, and then I left home after I came up to Canada. But to answer that question about when would I have wanted someone to have that talk, it would have made sense around 11 to 12, 13. That would have been, I was discovering, the Cosmopolitan magazine or whatever it was at that point. I was like, this is interesting. And it would have made sense to have a conversation at the point. I don't think anybody ever had any conversation with me about sex. Not my mom. Like, no, like nothing. Zero.
I think I agree. I think the same thing in my case. I don't think anyone other than the same type of thing. Don't get nobody pregnant, and don't bring no child home for me to mind. That kind of
that type of yelling from across the room. It's like, was that for me? Because I was trying to eat my corn.
Instead of teaching you what to do,
is what you should
tell me what you don't do. Hear what? That's going to be the name of my book for dads. Hear what?
Advice for dads. I know it's just after 9, and I know we started about 8, so it's going to be about an hour now, this is going really good. I'm really glad we're doing this. We have one more question, and then I think we will go off air, and if we want to continue having a chat, we can, but none of that would be recorded. Everybody good?
Yeah.
You have to be good because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Fine, I guess.
It's really a format. I'm trying to be nice and polite, but I'm not really that nice. So, what's the biggest mistake your father made that you don't want to repeat?
Ooh.
And I think we touched some of this earlier on tonight, but thank you, baby station, Ray, for that wonderful question. What is it that we're not putting forward? What is something that you're actively going, you know what, I'm not doing?
Okay, let me jump in and say that I don't want to have multiple mothers of my children. So I'm trying my best not to get into that situation. Right?
Good answer. Good answer with your wife in the room.
Good answer. Your wife's in the room. Good answer.
on or off the court, man. On or off the court. So you really have to. Marriage is under attack. Everybody knows that. Ashley Madison is out there just waiting on you to jump in, right? So you have to protect your
outside your door. Roger come out and play.
Wow.
Invest your time and energy in your marriage. Don't waste time investing outside in somebody else's dreams. You have your own dreams. And you have I would say all 4 of us here have great wives, great partners, and it would be stupid of us to try and mess it.
But again, in praise of us,
John Paul is not speaking for me. Whatever he's about to say.
Great marriages just don't happen. Great marriages just don't happen. Great marriages are a component of 2 people that are completely invested. And like I tell people, I'm not embarrassed. People want to marriage shame me or whatever. You talk about your wife way too much. I'm like, who you want me to talk about? I tell people I'm still actively in love with my wife. I'm still actively trying to be in love with my wife, and I'm still actively trying to make sure that we both continue to stay in love with each other going forward. As far as the mistake that I don't want to make, I don't want to say mistake that my dad made. I just said what I would do different.
What do you not putting forward?
I want my children, both of them, and I don't want to say for different reasons, but obviously girls are different than boys as far as relationships go. Is I even to this day, like my dad will call from Trinidad and he's like, yeah, you do this, and yeah, I hear that, blah blah blah. But we talk, but we don't really talk. And and I so the next time he comes up, I think I'm actually going to broach that and be like, hey, you know what? We go for sushi from time to time, but then all you ever tell me is, hey, you hear who's sick, boy? They might this one diabetes acting up, he might pass. Yeah, too. Yeah, man, I don't need you to be the death watch guy.
Right.
How about we have a conversation about, hey, what do you think about Kanye's new album? Or what do you think about Trump? You know, I want to have a deeper conversation. Yes, I want to cultivate that type of relationship, which I think I'm actively doing with my children, so that when we get older, I don't need to be my children's best friend. I don't need to be, my dad's so cool. I don't need to be that guy, but I want us to at least be able to talk other than me talking at you. I want to talk to you, and that's what I would like to try to change, other than with my dad.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. We get it. You got a newborn.
Oh wow!
I have a question because I did as part of an interview with the National Post 2 years ago. They had interviewed guys that had children over 40. So, do you think it makes a difference being a father in your later years than having children when you're younger, like 20s, 30s? Or what would it be?
I think it depends.
I can honestly say I wasn't ready when I was 20. I was just discovering who I was as an artist and trying to make a name for myself and putting all of that. I wasn't ready, so I was trying to build myself. I was still a kid, I remember walking into agencies with my portfolio, and they would be like, when did you start studying photography? When you were 12? So for me to have a kid and going through that would have been too much. And given my knowledge now of what is involved in raising a child, and the sleepless nights and things like that, there's no way. It's unbelievable. Yeah. I don't know how a single mother could possibly do it, because with the two of us,
that was the first thing I said after we had Xavier. The first thing I said the first time I went back on stage wasn't even a joke. It was literally, pardon my French, but it was literally me telling any dude that can have a child and walk away from that child, go F yourselves. Because I had so much more exponential respect for single mothers when I realized how much work goes into feeding a kid, trying to get them to sleep, changing them, how much they spit up, you name it, feeding them on a certain level. The mother not
educating them,
just all, as you guys would say, just the deprivation of everything, social deprivation, intelligence deprivation. You end up talking to the baby, and you haven't had a conversation with an adult,
with an adult, exactly.
You know what I mean? So
I was just on diaper duty and bathing the child, and it was rough. Imagine if I had breasts, depleting my energy.
Please don't make me.
Wow. I can't unsee that.
Yeah, it would be rough.
I can't.
That's not good.
It would be rough.
I agree, man. We were planning a home birth, water birth, and the whole thing. Things didn't go according to plan. We ended up in the hospital with cesarean, which is the exact opposite of a home birth with your midwives. And, being in the room, watching them cut my wife off, I was right there. I had video of the whole thing. I'm the doctor's looking at me, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, eye contact. Don't look at me. Eyes down, buddy. Eyes down. Seeing them cut my wife open, and I'm sitting there and I'm feeling completely helpless. And they pull this baby out. I'm there. Everybody's happy. Everybody's healthy. Things are good. I'm checking stuff out. I'm like, what's good? Just the spin of that. And Then after, she wasn't able to sit up or move because she just had major surgery. Mm-hmm. So I was like changing diapers, picking him up, making sure he was eating, burping him, sleeping with him with me at night. I was in the hospital for 2 days and being really the primary parent for the first few weeks, like 4 or 6 weeks. And just having that experience and then thinking of my mom having 3 kids and other parents, I was just like,
puts it in perspective.
Like, Mom, I love you. Like, thank you for not letting me die or something at night. Like, the level of respect I have for women and what they're doing.
I agree. Here, man.
Through the roof. Yeah. Like, it completely shifted. Like, I had respect before, but it was just like
here on that.
I'd rather go to a UFC fight than a single mama. You know what I mean? It's,
right. Well, it depends on who you fight. If it's the Diaz brothers, I don't know. But
I'll take a punch before I do it. I'm like,
I agree. I completely agree. I don't mean to make it sound like this, but I'm glad I'm a man. Just from a birth-giving perspective.
The human race would come to a screeching halt if men had to give birth. They're like, we don't have a population control problem anymore. It's like, it's going to come to a grinding halt.
But I think you gentlemen are doing a fantastic, splendid job. I enjoyed this very much, just for the simple fact that I know that I have a genuine support group, and if I needed any type of assistance or questions asked, that I can ask actual dads that are involved, continuing to be involved. So I appreciate you, because I don't think we get our proper due as we do. I'm not saying that that we deserve a medal or anything, but I appreciate the fact that
because we are the best fathers.
No, but I appreciate the fact that we're out there. I appreciate that we're out there, that we are out there. So kudos to you, gentlemen.
Thank you. And I appreciate your calls and texts and emails and support. Like all of you have messaged me at some point going, "Yo, dude, keep it up. It's coming." I was like, "Thanks, man."
Women do it all the time with each other, and I don't know why we. I don't know why we don't do it for each other. Because being a father is just as important as being a mother. Because as far as I know, daddy issues are a real thing.
Yep.
So
yes, and dealing with the toddler that's trying to kill you, you need that support
I don't know
system.
What you're talking
you haven't reached it yet. When that child starts running,
having that problem,
dude. If I put him down, he'd be right where I left him. This is the golden years.
You know what it's like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because he doesn't.
You only got another 3 or 4 months of that. So
when the wheels start.
I guess the only thing I'd want to say
in September
before we come off of this Dub Fest is that we have to always remember that there are men that are younger than us that probably don't share the same perspective on fatherhood. And it's always important, I feel, to if you see a kid out there with a young child, try and find some time to mentor them. Try and find some time to show
talk to them or reach out.
Yeah, reach out. We can't just sit by and say, "Oh, our life is good and it's great. I'm a great married, and my kids are fantastic." And no,
right. It didn't just happen, right?
Yeah. So whoever you can help, it might not even be. It could be a woman. It could be a man. It could be but any help that you can give is always appreciated.
I agree. Here.
Very true. Very true. That's part of the reason I'm recording this is that this gets to live online and people get to see it and we get to share it over and over. And there's 78 people logged in tonight to see us and hear what we had to say. That's a beautiful thing. So it's I'm sure this is going to continue to grow for years. And I know I would definitely want to do this again.
I'd love
if you guys are willing to come back and talk about, Daddy Blab 2.0. What's next? What's next in the playground? But yeah, I'd love to do it again, man. Just, maybe pick a topic, get some advice on a specific thing. What's coming up next when this one starts?
I'm always down.
Sounds good.
All right.
You have an
with that, thank you,
gentlemen.
Before we leave, I want to just make a round. Where can everyone find you? Let's start with Roger. Where can we find you online, and what projects you have coming up next?
So at Roger Dundas is the best way. Twitter, Roger.Dundas at buyblacks.com. Buyblacks.com.
BY blacks, not BUY
That's
blacks.
right. BY.
BY blacks.
BY.
It's boy blacks.
And projects. The Harry Jerome Awards are coming up.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Nice.
That's April the 23rd, and the Men of Honor event is on April the 4th. And I am actually receiving an award this year, so I'm going to ask everybody to.
Oh, congratulations!
Come out and support the event.
Yes,
because of people like yourselves who I look on and I say, okay, boy, Ricardo, I call you and I say, hey, what do you think about this situation, boy? What will you do? We do that. So it's not me. It's everybody around me that's contributing to me trying to be a better person. That's basically what it is. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you, Nathaniel. Please share. How can people get in touch with you, and what's next?
Well, my Twitter is at Nathaniel Inc. The next project that I have going on is I do this showcase of talent in Toronto, particularly in design and creative talent and services. It's called Sprung. So I plan on doing another Sprung event in the near future, hopefully in June. I think the first one will be a Sprung. It's actually going to be a pop-up shop. But look out for that. It'll be kind of interesting. And then aside from that, I'm just supporting my wife with her endeavors with Baby Station.
What is Baby Station? Tell me about that.
So she came up with Baby Station with regards to we like to entertain. We like to go out to musical events and whatnot. And one of the things that we found was when you had the child, we had to leave the venue if our needs weren't being met, such as if there's a blowout. There's nowhere in the park to change the blowout. So you have to go home. You have to go home at that point. But what she came up with is I have a tented area where mothers, fathers can change their child, feed their child, and not have to worry about leaving, because if you don't have a diaper or wipes or what have you, we provide that for you. So it's one of those services that is much needed now that we realize that it's there. It's something that everybody is like, hey, we need this. So the mandate right now is just trying to get it in all kinds of different events throughout the city. Eventually the evolution will be it'll be available in an airport, a train station, all those places where families obviously
where babies exist,
converge, and where babies exist, which is probably everywhere. So
you should have a blow station everywhere in the world. At the office, you need to have a baby station.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's a fun project, and I love working with my wife, obviously.
And Season Seco. How come you're not talking about Season Seco?
Seaside Seco, the hats.
Yes,
I still make the hats. I'm actually working on some hats for spring, summer. So I'm just working, designing some stuff. So Season Seco, you'll be looking for that soon.
So let me translate that. The guy has a wicked clothing line. Read those hats, wicked hats, man. Wicked JP, love them.
Thank you for saying
custom.
I'm gonna have to check that. I like to wear hats, so we're gonna have to talk.
Man up, man. The man is on stage.
All right,
Jean-Paul.
I'll measure your head.
JP Tobago Slim.
Everything is Jean-Paul comedy, thanks to a company called Wedge 15. Fantastic. My Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, my actual website. So check me out at Jean-Paul Comedy. I'm coming up in the very near future. I got to do the Halifax Comedy Festival. I'll be taping a televised gala. Still trying to push the whole island hipster. Trying to make sure that our point of view or my point of view is getting across. I had a conversation. I'm not willing to let the cat out the bag just yet, but I had an earlier conversation with Ricardo about a project that I'm still very much invested in getting done. But when I have more to share, so when I have more to share,
to do this week,
I'll definitely share that with everybody.
That's gonna be good.
But other than that, just trying to get the Island Hipster thing done. Still trying to get comedically. Still trying to represent, and let people know that we have a legit voice in this country. Because sometimes I don't think we get the avenues to be able to travel because people don't know anything about us. So. So yeah, that's pretty much it. JeanPaulComedy.com. Check me out.
Not it.
Yeah, man. Island Mix.
Island Mix.
Into this.
Well, that will be it.
Talk
My
about
name
these
is.
projects that these guys are doing. Why am I going to do this? Trinidad versus Jamaica.
Trinidad versus Jamaica. Mother's Day, May 8th.
Wow.
So all the mothers out there.
My favorite show.
May 8th,
Come on, man.
Queen Elizabeth Theater. I think
Rogers in promotions.
we're in our 11th year. Check it out, Queen Elizabeth Theater. It's going to be fantastic. We have Robert Spencer, Mark Trinidad, Jay Martin, Jamaican Paleface, Tony Hendricks, who's absolutely fantastic. It's going to be a wicked show.
How many years has it been?
11. 12.
It's 11. I think it's 12. I think this is 12. This is the 12th year.
Yeah.
This is the 12th year.
And Jamaica versus Trinidad.
And it's sold out. It's a clean show. You can bring your granny, your mommy, your auntie, your children, babies. There's no cursing. We have a comedy music clash that we have. So there's soca versus reggae, and there's dancing and jokes and
we know soca's gonna win that hands down. I'm not even sure. That's not even like a competition.
Always.
We cannot.
Dance thing. It's literally, and I'm not even saying this because I'm a part of it. It's literally my favorite show of the year because it's the freest I get to be. I get to be Island Hipster. I get to be Tobago Slim. I don't have to hold back on my accent. I don't have to hold back on anything. I just get to be free. 9 times out of 10. Okay, I lied. 10 times out of 10. At some point in the show, my shirt comes off and I'm bareback. That's all I do every year. Somehow,
it's like 12 years in a row.
Somehow,
please keep your clothes on. No,
I've been working out. I look good now. This year is warranted.
You've been pumping iron. It's like no,
That's hardcore.
Yeah, man. This year is warranted. So yeah,
I'm glad to hear that.
So thanks, guys. This has been great.
This has been beautiful. My name is Ricardo McRae. You can catch me online everywhere at Ricardo McRae. My company is Wedge 15. Just Google any of those things and you'll come right up. And what we do is build brands that make you look good. That's pretty much it. We helped JP out with his Jean Paul comedy. Loved it. So catch us all. Looking forward to seeing us again the next time we do this. And we'll see you on the flip side. Easy.
Hipster business.